Hello and welcome to this video. If you saw my previous video, I hiked, kayaked and drove Loch Etive to find wildlife. You will know that recently I spent some time exploring Loch Etive to see what wildlife I could find around and in the loch. And whilst exploring the south and east sides of the loch, I transitioned from car to foot so I could camp near to and then hike up into Glen Noe. And this video is about that adventure. So I am still on the east side of Loch Etive, but further north. I'm working my way more inland, walking along the side of the loch, and I am going to brave a wild camp this evening, actually my first ever wild camp. So I am walking along the loch looking for somewhere to sleep tonight, and then this evening and in the morning I will be in the best place to do some wildlife watching in deepest, wildest Scotland on the edge of this absolutely beautiful loch and somewhere very, very remote. So I travelled down from higher up and now I'm pretty much on a level with the loch. So I'm hoping to find somewhere to camp just along here because it's incredibly beautiful, and how nice would it be to wake up next to the loch. The only hesitation I have is midges. I don't know if they will be bad tonight, but I think I'm going to give it a try and see how I get on. So I am very, very tired and it's a really warm day as well. I'm hoping to find somewhere to camp pretty soon so I can put this bag down and set up. Oh, how pretty does that look? Somewhere near this cool water is very appealing. I'm thinking somewhere along here would be very nice. Let's have a look. I have to take this bag off in a second and then I can explore properly. So I've dumped my bag and I'm just going to explore this area because it's by the loch, it's beautiful, it's nice and cool because of the water, and there is also a breeze, so this is much needed. And it's so pretty, so I'm thinking this could be a really nice place to camp for the night. So this patch of grass here looks about as flat as it's going to get, I think. And what a beautiful spot with the loch just here. I think I will maybe have to move a few of those rocks, but I think this might be the place to sleep tonight. I'll show you inside. You can see that we are rock free apart from up in the corner. I don't think that's going to be a problem. This is actually a two-man tent and it's just me, so it should be fine. Okay, so the tent is all set up. I've zipped it up because of the midges. There are a few around. I don't know if that will increase as the evening goes on, hopefully not too much, down by the water here. It's such a gorgeous evening. I'm going to spend a bit of time exploring the area and then later I will make some dinner and then get settled for the night. Tent is surrounded by rocks. I quite like it personally, and I know where they are. So the one that's in the corner, I'll just put my bag there tonight over it. It's been hard to find a flat area down by the loch, and this I think is as good as it gets. But I'm really happy with this spot. It's so pretty with the tree opposite the water. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to spending the evening here. But first, I'm going to set out and explore. I'm going to take my big camera in case I see any wildlife around. It's so peaceful, so quiet here, no one else around. So while the weather is lovely, I'm going to go and enjoy Loch Etive. In the shade of a nearby woodland that I went to explore, I saw a bird flying around. Because light was low, it took me a while to see that it was a cuckoo. It was amazing to observe and thankfully twice stopped for a while, which allowed me to get some footage. On a global scale, the common cuckoo is listed as least concern on the IUCN Red List, but in the UK it appears on the Birds of Conservation Concern Red List. While walking through the woodland near to the loch, I unintentionally disturbed a family of common sandpipers. One of the adults began flying up and down the bank, calling loudly. This is typical behaviour where an adult warns their chicks of potential danger. Soon after, I spotted a chick running into the safety of some tree roots nearby. Even though common sandpiper chicks can move around shortly after hatching, they remain highly dependent on their parents' watchful care during the vulnerable weeks before they can fly. Not wanting to stress the family further, I pointed my camera at the tree roots and quickly moved away. I left the camera recording for about 10 to 15 minutes while I put some distance between myself and the birds. By the time I returned, the sandpiper family had moved on. I wasn't sure if I had captured anything, but thankfully I got the most adorable footage of 3 tiny chicks cautiously emerging from their shelter to reunite with an adult who was calling them. So I'm having this for dinner. It's Expedition Foods and it is a vegetable stir fry. And you just boil the water, which I'm doing, pour it in, seal it up, 5 minutes, and then it's ready to eat. I've turned the sleeping bag around so that my feet are down. That end heads by the entrance to the tent. I'm zipped in now because I am trying to hide from the midges, but this is really, really good inner layer, so I don't think they're going to find a way through. So yeah, I'm going to sleep now. Good night. I will see you in the morning. This is my first night wild camping, so hopefully I can sleep. 6 AM. I'm just going to get up, make a hot drink, brush my teeth. Unfortunately, I lost some of the footage from this trip, including some of the clips from the morning. After drinking my coffee and enjoying the wildlife in the area, I packed up and introduced the plan for the day. I camped near the valley of Glen Noe, and that morning I began to climb up into it. Because I was going to return the same way, I was able to leave my camping kit behind, so I only had to carry my camera equipment, various layers of clothing and a drink. It was a much greyer day, as you saw when I first exited the tent, and although I was really hoping that I wouldn't end up climbing into clouds, unfortunately the weather only got worse the higher I walked. It's quite cold actually now that I've stopped walking. The wind's quite cold. It is quite breezy, and there is quite a lot of cloud cover at the moment. I'm hoping that when I get up into the glen it clears, or at least doesn't get any worse, so that I can see my surroundings. Right, let's carry on. I found a kind of rock armchair, which is much appreciated. I'm very tired. You can see the loch all the way down there. I'm not actually sure how high I've come up, so I will look that up and probably put it on the screen. But I'm pretty tired, and I think this is a really good spot to have a coffee. I've come from the loch that you can see down there, and I'm heading for somewhere over here. I'm not going to go right up there, I'm just going to kind of head around that area. It has just started to rain. Obviously the weather can turn very quickly up in a glen. The sky is bright up there, so hopefully it won't get worse. Hopefully the weather will get better. You really have to watch where you're walking here. It's got some very boggy stretches, and then some that are completely fine to walk. It's also very pretty. There's lots of different flowers. Well, as you can see, it's raining. There is quite thick cloud cover over the mountaintops, but I'm really hoping that that will pass through by the time I get higher up the glen. Seeing as I'm here, I can only give it a go and see what happens. Keep looking behind to see where I've come from, and sometimes I can see and sometimes I can't. At the moment it's a little bit clearer. You can see the water of the loch. Safe to say my clothes are drenched, especially on this side, because that's the side that the wind is blowing the rain in from. I keep pausing on this bit because it's pretty steep. That is now down towards the loch and you can't see it at all. You might wonder if I checked the weather forecast. I did, even though you can't always trust it, and it said that it wasn't going to, well, there was kind of low chance of rain by about mid-morning, so if I can get to where I want to walk to by then, it might dry up a little bit. And I want to go to this top of this sort of ridge, somewhere along there. Okay, I'm going to carry on. I hope this microphone's working. It's got very soggy, so I'm really hoping that it's working. I am nearly where I'm heading for, which you can't even see, so it's too cloudy, so I won't try to show you. I think I'll get my stuff and continue up. I don't know, maybe 10-15 more minutes, and then I should be as far up as I'm planning to go. Yeah, I'll show you when I'm there anyway. I made it. This is the spot that I wanted to walk up to. When I was walking up, I saw, well, I think I saw a ridge just before this. This one wasn't visible, but I was aiming for an area like this. I just wanted to be sort of across from the mountain ridge behind me. And even though it is very cloudy, it's still amazing up here. It's breathtaking. I imagine when if the cloud clears, the views will be spectacular, but we can only hope that they will clear. Okay, I'm going to find somewhere a little bit more sheltered and wait for the cloud to pass, hopefully, and try and empty some water out of my shoes. The cloud is rolling down there. Look, I found one small patch of blue sky. And even though I'm very cold and damp now, well, I say damp, I'm actually just completely dripping, it's so nice to see that view over there. So I just saw something flying up over behind me, up over that ridge there. So I have got my camera out and I'm going to keep my eye on the skyline. Possibly it will come back. I think it could well have been a golden eagle. Yeah, let's see. At this point, I was about 700 metres above sea level, and although the footage isn't the best, I did spot a golden eagle soaring far higher still. It was extremely distant, and with the windy, cloudy conditions, I struggled to keep the camera steady and to keep it focused, but it was still incredibly exciting to see. At one point, there were actually 2 golden eagles, and possibly this is a raven mobbing one of them. down. Look what I found. How beautiful is this? Look at this. Wow. So I'm actually going back down a different way than I came up. I came up along this track up to here-ish. Then I went that side of the river and off up into the glen and went over there where you can see the cloud coming in. But to get back I came down here, crossed over the river higher up, and now I'm heading down and cutting off the corner. I'm heading back over there to the loch. So I'm past the steepest part of my descent. Now it's just a case of walking back through the valley towards the loch. It wasn't the best weather for this adventure, but I didn't want to travel all this way and not go up into the glen. And it's been so interesting to see what wildlife is around and thrives in this environment. It really has been a wild adventure with unpredictable weather, wild camping, and of course climbing up into the glen. I really hope you enjoyed sharing this with me. I wanted to take this moment to say thank you for joining me in this video. Please do support my channel by liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.